right, hello and welcome to interview 2 of our 4th season, interviewing the best and emerging hip-hop artists, garden interests from homestead to commercial agriculture, and bourbon and whiskey distillers. My name is Joe Skibby, and this is Beats, Beds, and Browns. We're pleased to continue our live stream interviews for this, our 4th season, allowing us to interview talented folks from throughout the globe. Our focus will always be Chicagoland, but there's so many talented individuals outside the region that we'll look to expand our reach. This year, our upcoming schedule includes April 3rd, Ruben Ramirez, comedian and host of our season 1 and 2 launch concerts. April 10th, Dallas Glazik with Silver Tree Beer and Spirits. April 17th, Paul Coughlin with Taco Nick Distillery. April 24th, Glenda George Green with Baby Green's Family Farm. May 1st, Joel Q, champion of Chicago hip hop. May 8th, Jesse Stewart Jr., Alexander James Whiskey. We'll always go live Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Join us. Keep an eye on YouTube for the upcoming events. Let's not forget our mission to distribute 100,000 heirloom seed kits over the next 10 years. We want to introduce people to growing their own food and realizing how easy it is to get started. Whether you've got acres or just a balcony, you can start growing your own food. To date, we've given out over 2,500 seed kits across the country. Tap into our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Beats, Beds, Browns. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube to get notified of our content releases and upcoming shows. And please participate in the comments section throughout our content. We want to hear from you. Welcome to those of you joining us after the live taping. We see you. And now, from his time behind bars to his indelible skills dropping bars, this Chicago native transcends the streets through the power of the studio. A unifying force between East and Midwest, Rufus Sims is crossing borders and taking no prisoners. From his recent time on the stage at Wild Hair Music in Sub T Chicago to his upcoming scheduled performance at the Purple Box Videos Festival on April 13th, I'd like to bring Rufus Sims to the screen. Rufus, great seeing you, man.
Great seeing you too, bro. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. So we ask everybody the same question as we start. Where you at, where you been, and where you going?
I'm currently at a bar.
Hey, Wi-Fi will travel, man. We'll take it anywhere.
Man, I'm going to a show tonight, man. Bruce the Wolf and Daddy Brown now are in town.
Nice.
I'm going to check them out.
Where they at?
They at Metro tonight.
Okay, nice.
Thanks, bro. Bump heads with Chris Crack up there, and I'll just do a little mingle, a little networking. I got studio sets tomorrow to wrap up the loyalty project. I'm trying to get it wrapped up by the show on the 13th.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, and you mentioned networking. It's definitely different that we see you at all the shows. You're out there supporting other performers. You're connecting. We see you guesting. We see you participate in other people's albums. Talk about how that is for you now versus how that used to be.
Well, there was a time period when I think when I was younger, I just thought I had to be everywhere. I thought just being on the scene everywhere is what I had to do. Now I'm more on the hip hop side of it. It's just like I'm where I need to be at in the hip hop world. That makes it easier. And a lot of the people, the artists that are a lot of top up-and-coming artists right now in the hip-hop scene are, honestly, my brothers. We've been coming up together for years, and we built bonds that, that I think will stand the test of time. So, just at this point now, I kind of just try to stay relevant with the hip-hop events and just, show support to the people that I'm working with and all the guys that are making noise right now, because I think that we're at a time period where we're supporting each other more than ever. And I think that's making the scene grow faster. So, yeah, I just think it's a more intenseful thing this time around with the support of each other and everything we have going on compared to back in the day when we were kind of more youthful and just outside. We were working, but you know what I'm saying? It's more
focus on your grind versus everybody else and being supportive.
Yeah.
And
so now it's like I honestly feel bad if I miss one of my brother's shows. Like, even if I had something planned already, I'm like, okay, I'll make it up to you. I miss the next one. So
Absolutely, and that's a vibe that you feel as someone attending those shows and seeing everybody support everybody else. It's got momentum, right? It's got motion. So
bro, I have friends on this scene who have shows, and then I might say, "Hey, bro, hey, brother, my doug's a little low this week," and they, "Hey, don't worry about it. My guest list is full, but I'll pay for you a ticket." So it's like the type of love that we're showing each other. It's what Chicago always needed, and I think that in the future we will see that this is the catalyst that's going to make Chicago this unstoppable force. Like we've always had the talent, but sticking together, oh man.
no, we see it definitely. You talked a little bit about the guys that have been with you from the start. I imagine that's Jay Hayes, Tay Butch, talking to the little people. Talk a little bit about that group and if you still rock with them. And I know you still support them, but if there's anything in the pipeline for that, or if you focused on your individual career.
It's both. Of course, the last show that we were at together, well, not the last one, but the Sub T show.
Yeah.
Tay Butch was there. He hopped on stage, gave me a lot of energy. Hayes is currently out of town, but me and Hayes are dropping a tape together soon, Cograph 2. So Hayes is always involved. Butch doesn't rap as much as he used to. He kind of get in and get out a little bit, but if I got anything going on, Butch gonna be a part of it one way or another. You know what I'm saying? That's like I look at him. I look at Tay Butch and Hayes. I look at Hayes like the new Butch, but
Yeah.
it's like we reserve a slot for any time Butch wants to do his thing. The loyalty runs that deep. And then also just big shout out to like people like Shake Labamba and people that have been around for a long time that whether they still do music or not, which some do, some don't, but they still come out and support. So that's major, you know.
Absolutely, and maybe some get back into it with the current positivity around the community, and everybody's kind of balancing that grind and streaming revenue and merchandising and trying to make it work, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So speaking of the merchandising, you got the Real Artist Network. Talk to me about that.
So the Real Artist Network also can be another one is Righteous and Noble. Real ass nigga in the streets, you know what I'm saying? It's just it came back in the day. It used to be a whole camp of us. We were super deep. So we've been trimmed out like over the year. I think back then people thought that we were like on the track to like blow up, or they thought it would be more of a mainstream thing. And there were a lot of kinks we had to work out and the things that we had to figure out. And sometimes people don't always, stay for that part of the trip. So at this point, there's a couple solid people left, like me, Jay Hayes, of course Butch. Whether he's rapping or not, he's a part of it. Nate Carter, Jay Oates, people that have it tattooed on them actually have chains and stuff. So it just we went from about 50 to 5, but we're still strong, and I think we're going stronger than ever. But yeah,
Nice. So that's more than a fashion label. That's more of an internal movement, a connection with all your boys.
Yep, internal movement, fashion, might even grow to be publishing company or anything. But yeah, it's just how we set ourselves apart as far as what our team is. The brand was the most consistent thing with all of us, so we still refer to that since we're still growing.
Nice. You talk about the publishing company and owning the rights to your music, and talk to me about that angle and how you're able to profit off the streaming and how you're turning a business into music where other guys maybe got under management early and didn't take those same moves.
Well, I wasn't so fortunate to have someone under management, so I had to start figuring stuff out to keep going. I think you get to a point where either you're gonna figure it out or you quit. And I started to realize that I wasn't receiving the back end of my streaming by not having a publishing company. You got to have a publishing company. You got to have an LLC in order to create a publishing company and create that through your PROs. So once I figured that out, I started a dog named Rufus Publishing, so I can collect my back end. And I do certain type of deals with distros or like maybe the people I work with are Baron, so they have situations where I can distribute my music to bigger platforms, but I still handle all my own publishing to this point. I haven't seen haven't seen any checks for my publishing yet, so I'm still handling it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, in learning the business angle, the sooner you get your foot in the water, the sooner you're going to take your lumps, the sooner you're going to learn your lessons. You talked about in an interview that we read coming out of incarceration and getting into Colombia and learning about the music business. Talk to me a little bit about entering into that space and what that looked like.
That changed me so much, bro, because I just I didn't realize how hood we were. I didn't realize the opportunities that were actually out there for us. I'm looking up to, no disrespect, but only thing I knew about was Bum J, LEP. I got to Colombia. It's like, hold on, cool kids. Hold on, Lupe. Hold on, I'm like, oh, yes. Like, and it made me just a different type of well-rounded to the point I didn't even want to go to the hood no more. That's when I started changing for real. Being down there, I used to hate having to bust it back to the neighborhood. There's always something going on in the neighborhood. Somebody getting locked up, somebody getting shot. And I'm figuring out the ways to really, change my career in the way that I need to go. So Colombia was a big pivotal part of me realizing I'm going to be in a neighborhood like that.
Nice. Gave you a different perspective and made you realize that there were options out there.
Yes. It's just within my field, though. I'm seeing all type of arts, all type of artists. I'm seeing artists who are, no disrespect, who might not even be the greatest of artists, but their marketing, their networking, their understanding of how they should be moving. So it was completely changed. It's just I had to make a decision.
All right, we're losing Rufus while he's frozen. Remember to register at beetsbedsbrowns.com. Get your free seed kit. We currently have dill, pumpkin, and acorn squash. Our goal is to distribute 100,000 seed kits in the next 10 years across the country. I mentioned earlier, to date, we've given out over 2,500 seed kits across the country. And as it's spring planting season, we continue to have those registrations roll in, and we're shipping 30, 40, 50 seed packs a week across the country. So please register at beetsbedsbrowns.com. Tap in at beetsbedsbrowns across our social. And it looks like we got Rufus back.
Yes, my bad.
Yeah, no, you're doing good. If you are talking into the phone, we got 100% clarity. If you're turning a little bit, we lose a little bit, but we're all doing good, man.
Okay, my bad about that.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's probably not a common perspective, right? Coming out of incarceration and realizing the amount of opportunities, it's probably more natural to go back to the neighborhood, hanging with old friends. Old habits are hard to break. That's probably more common for other incarcerated individuals. What gave you the opportunity to get that experience and the realization then?
I mean, I was always like, I went to college before, and I was always, despite the things that started happening outside, I was always an honor student. I was in line to go to college, you know what I'm saying? It's just so much stuff happened, and I stopped caring about that stuff as much. And, I was immature. I had to learn. And I think we got to a point, just once when I started going to Colombia, it was after the first time I had got locked up. I had caught cases and different things, but never did I actually go sit down for a couple months. And then I'm looking like, man, the people who are as smart on the level that I am are fewer in here. So what am I doing? Yeah. And when I got out, I had an uncle. And I had a friend of mine. We were trying to get in Colombia together. And he was kind of dragging his feet. And I just had an uncle, Uncle Duro. And he was just like, man, he's the only person to graduate from our family in college. You know what I'm saying? The only college graduate. And he's just like, man, despite whatever your friend has going on, are you trying to get in here or what? I remember him like digging into me like, hey, man, your friend's dragging his feet a little bit, man. Are you trying to do it or what? And then I just ended up finishing the registration process by myself, and I got in. I remember I seen a guy named Big Wiz in there. Used to have a buzz back in the day in Chicago. Big Wig changed his name to Fat Boy Fresh, but he was actually like in a source, unsigned hype, him and Q Billa and those guys. But he saw me on the train. He saw me at the school. He's like, "Oh man, you guys are in here now." He's like, "This is gonna help you out a lot." He's right. He's like, it just changed my whole perspective on the approach to the grind and what we're actually doing here. You know what I'm
Absolutely. No, that's amazing, man.
saying? Music business management, the art and business of recording. You know, all these type of classes that just challenge your mind. You know, 15-page papers on DRP, documented research papers on where is the music business going? How will technology influence music industry in the next?
Yeah.
Whatever I wrote about was totally off. You know,
Right, yeah, but it's still changing to this day, right?
yeah.
It's no longer major labels, no longer CDs or digital downloads. It's all streaming, merch, performances. Talk about that, some of the different channels for distributing your music and some of the different revenue streams.
You got the channels where if you're close enough, can you hear me?
Yep.
If you're close enough to a distribution platform, whether you're have a distribution deal or you're close enough to a management or a label that has a distribution deal, you can do little one-off projects. You can do one-off projects with distribution deals yourself, one-off label deals. Platforms like Even. I dropped a project. I dropped Bond Hearing. It's only on. I'm dropping my next project on the Even platform, which is a straight to fans platform.
Okay. So do you
And
does
it's
the fan
like,
pre-register on Even to get the release, or you just release it on Even and then they find it there, similar to
yeah,
SoundCloud?
they just find it. Yep, they just find it there. And it's almost like Bandcamp,
Okay.
but on steroids. The Russell and Russell are making it popular,
Yeah.
and they're basically they show you, oh, you've made $17 so far. It would have took you 1,000 streams, you know.
Yeah. But it gives you that immediate feedback to know that what you're doing is working, or you got to try something else. Is that part of the reason that the volume in production is so high that these days with artists that are being successful is you have to stay out there to be in the algorithm. You have to be on other people's tracks so you can get found.
If let's just say I drop a project, we got some traction going. I don't have the budget. I might not have the budget to reach as many people, but maybe I can cover this sector. I can grow to a point to reach another sector, but it comes to a thing of people going backtracking. It's like gaining people and you having solid catalog for people to really. A lot of fans that catch on to me tell me, "Hey, I don't want to you. I've been listening to you for days. I went down a rabbit hole." And then it's just like if you don't have the budget, you don't have the if you don't have the budget to reach 1 million people at one time, you don't have the luxury to be able to take 2 months off or let your algorithm die for 3 months. My algorithm has to go nonstop. Sometimes bigger, but nonstop. So I drop some projects that are bigger, some that are medium, some smaller EPs, but it has to keep going. Even if it's a small growth thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just come from watching the market and trial and error. So.
Yeah. So seeing it from the business perspective, you've got all the music, then you've got the supporting visuals and videos. Those go on different channels, and you're all just kind of playing the symphony of making it all work together in order to drive the ultimate goal, which is streaming, where at least there's some revenue. Are you guys making profits off YouTube and TikTok, some of the other video channels, or?
Yeah, but it's real slow money. The most money that I've made came from streaming, but it came from like charting, getting the fans to do my pre-order thing to the point of me charting. So then when the project comes out, boom, big lump sum of money hits. But this was a campaign that ran over months of pre-orders, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
you build it up.
it's all about your market and your lane, and then you being able to get your people to move to where you want them to, because some people use Apple, some use Spotify. But hey, today I'm only dropping on Bandcamp. So what does that say? You
Okay.
guys got to go over there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and the people that really rock with you will.
Well, and that's as we approach this from a strategic planning session on who we're looking to invite, obviously we're looking at people that we've seen and that we know, and then we're looking, at streaming numbers. And then, some people have their full library on SoundCloud or Spotify or Apple. Some people have them distributed, kind of dispersed across the different channels. So getting a full picture of some of the prior releases and other things sometimes is challenging, but you seem to have the sound on point, and then the support with marketing and with all the digital assets and distribution going as well.
We're getting there. It becomes a thing of I'm gonna have everything everywhere, but sometimes I need to get my bag right now.
Yeah.
So let's just say I build up a certain hotness point. You want to hit that hot fire right now, you got to go right there. It don't hit DSPs next month. So if you can wait the 30 or 45 days or so, it'll be on all platforms. And it's just me trying to make sure that I'm constantly growing to the point, okay, I know what I did on Bandcamp before, in the amount of time before I went to DSP. So let's see what we're doing even this time. Expect more. And, and there's more interaction, and just keep growing so we can just really identify those who our super fans are. Where can we actually go tour? And because that's my next point too. Just these super big email lists I've been building up.
Nice.
And just now targeting back to those, and then running these ads. And along with the way we've been the output, the volume of work we're putting out.
Yeah.
But still having strategy, having not just, we're not just throwing shit at the wall. Yeah, strategy to it.
Yep.
So I'm making sure that everybody that rocks with it knows it's coming. You know what I'm saying? So
that's time and resources, right? It always costs you something. So we've got one. We want to hear what yours is, like a hip hop Mount Rushmore. Who are the 4 artists that either inspired you or are part of your, daily listening? You plug in the aux and these guys are playing.
Chicago or just around?
Your top 4.
Somebody just asked me Chicago. That was easy.
Yeah. Well, give me your Chicago and then go bigger. Yeah.
So I gotta keep it 100 because I'm a marketer too.
Yeah.
And I'm a former super street guy, so I feel like you gotta put a Chief Keef and Dirk on there. We haven't synced it at a level as big, except Lupe and Kanye. So you gotta go Kanye, Lupe 1, 2, then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which
Kanye's like Kanye's gonna be on any list, so you can take him off of the Chicago and put him on my overall top list.
Yeah.
Put Jay-Z on there too, Nas on there too. That Forbes slide. Yeah. I would go Andre 3000 if he had more work in the streets.
You don't like the new flute jam?
I respect it.
I like
Life's a different choice of it.
Yeah.
I listened to it one time when I was going to sleep, so like I put it on. I slept well.
Chill vibe, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I just thought of the wildest thing. So Kanye, Jay-Z, Nas. I can easily go Biggie, but Biggie don't got that much projects out, unfortunately. Yeah. Like, honestly, Drake could be in there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's not my favorite. Like Drake could be in there, or Future. Future
Nice.
could be in there, bro.
Nice. So that's kind of a setup question. So I'm gonna share mine, and then I got a question after that. So national, of course, is Nipsey, Ice Cube, Mos Def, and then LL Cool J. That was my first cassette tape. Was LL Cool J's Bad, you know. So I was listening the other day when I'm going to interview somebody. I try and dig deeper than I've gone before, and I heard Mama Said for the first time, and man, that's an amazing song. Definitely, if you haven't checked that out, go to Spotify, SoundCloud, stream Mama Said. And then the question behind that is I think it was in the Illinois radio interview, you're talking about historically you used to yell and kind of scream at the mic. And then you got, if it was more comfortable or more relaxed in your delivery, you know, that Mama Said is amazing. And definitely I heard some of that kind of exuberant energy. Talk to me about the transition and comfort behind the mic of not yelling, not giving it your all vocally, but tailoring that to the song at hand.
I think I was going through a real life A&R developmental point. I thought I was the next I can honestly say I thought I was the next Meek Mill. And I was like, and unconsciously, why am I yelling? You know what I mean? And then it's like I was just a more aggressive person with a lot of street shit going on around. You know, you can listen to A1 since day one. Money Coming to Me Now. Like I used to perform these songs and be drenching wet after the sets. Like we were like so much energy. Like and just once I got out, like I wasn't around the streets so much, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna really like do what I've always felt in my heart, and chase the hip hop shit. So if I'm gonna do that, like Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers. I'm like, he has a very conversational flow. I'm like, I want it to sound like I'm talking to you, like we're conversing. So that was a tough transition for me, like making that sound right to me. To go from such this high to down where I'm at now, it was like, it just sounded really lazy for a long time to me. But when I got on house arrest, I was able to really get shots up in the gym. I never recorded that much. So I was really able to hone in on what I wanted to do. And that's when I kind of started doing like this, like, little more offbeatish type of thing, like offbeat on beat type of thing. Which even now I don't do it as much, but it's just like I always need some little thing to go off of that's different, like that kind of defines my style or whatever. But yeah, that time period, I had a couple of bangers at that time period. But they was at the top of my lungs, bro.
It's you mentioned
I cringed to hear those records. But I hear God told me recently, bro, you should perform Mama Said. I'm gonna try it one day. Not the next show, but maybe like a show that like
it's a lot of output, right? That's getting the breathing down. Like you said, you're sweating at the end of it. That's gonna take some physical preparation, no doubt.
And I gotta see how it feels to me. Like the songs that I perform, I can actually see the crowd going crazy off Massacre, or I can see it before I ever perform it. So the songs where it's harder for me to see it, like if I can't see it, I'm kind of like, really, sometimes we have songs, I do it all the time. We have the songs queued up. We about to go in, and then I'm just like, hey, what's next? So-and-so? Yeah, skip that one.
Next one, yeah.
Skip that one. Go to the next one. Like, I already know, like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not doing it tonight.
Yeah, the vibe's not right. Totally.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm kicking it with my people. You want me to bring some new shit on them right now? Nah. Okay, cool. 1 minute. Okay.
So you talk about the studio, you talk about live performing. Do you have a preference on which one you prefer?
No, two of my favorite feelings in the world, two different highs. Nothing like a lot of times I don't write. I write at the mic. That came from house arrest. It doesn't matter if I If I'm locked away in some prison cell, writing you know what I'm saying, trying to craft the best verse ever, I'm right the mic, just thinking off the top, kind of right then and there. It comes out the same. I've learned to let go to the point where it comes out the same. So um,
You've spoken on that where it's not freestyling; it's writing at the mic, right? And there's a difference with how
yeah,
you're able to come across, where it's not, developing a full thought on paper; it's processing through and the processing power that it
yeah,
takes to
it's
get
like
that
thinking
word.
over. But realistically, I've done enough raps and enough. I'm probably a 10,000 verse guy maybe in my life, you know. So I'm like, I can craft songs on the fly. But I take the easy route and I go with what sounds good and what feels good. But it's become it's like what Jay-Z says, like an exercise. It really is. It's like a mode. It's like a certain mode I get in. I don't want people really talking to me a lot. I need the engineer to be, like, whenever I stop, my engineer knows, give me back. I don't even have to say, give me back. It's like, my bad. Come on, give me back, my bad. But it's like the thoughts, they come. Sometimes they'll come out perfectly. Sometimes I gotta let me get back and edit it on takes. But it has to be fast. That's how my brain processes it. It has to be fast. And it forces me to make decisions opposed to sitting there. I'm so cold that no, that's not it. I used to be the like it's like you sitting here like no, it's like basketball to me. Ooh, we trained already to be these certain type of hoopers, so that was crunch time. You got to make decisions. Let the beat lead you and make decisions. So I make some of my best records like that. It feels great to create like that. It feels great to hear a great song after it's done. It feels like a different type of feeling to kill a show and people give you the reception back and you got sweat on your back and you don't even want to talk to anybody for 5 minutes while you're coming down off your house. So yeah, man, but I need all of them. That's life for me.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And how long you been doing this now?
Ever? Let me see. I wrote my first rap in 5th grade, so
Yeah,
I've been doing this shit 20 plus, baby.
nice. So,
Yeah.
everybody thinks it just happens, right? You're an overnight success. You just all of a sudden become successful. Talking about doing this for 20 years, talk about some of the evolution of the craft and how you've grown as a performer and a studio musician over those 20 years. And, give hope to somebody that maybe is not in that position and share with the fans what it is to evolve as a musician and performer.
I think I think just evolving is some form of ownership. Like depending on what's the situation of your evolution. If you don't if someone does everything for you, you might never learn a certain thing. And then people always have to do things for you. If you learn to do things yourself, it might take longer, but you'll evolve in the process. Nice to meet you, Rufus. Nice to meet you. Yeah, and you evolve in the process and you learn your worth. So is it worth? I turned down a couple deals recently. Some people look at it and say, "You turned down what?" But it's like, if I take that, cool, buy my family a house. That's not going to pay for this house though.
Right.
So, but if I do the right business moves and work myself to a certain level, where I can partner with certain people, those those partnerships will pay for this house. All right, come on. All right. You hear me?
Yep. So
You had
definitely,
pause for a second.
definitely the journey, definitely learning along the way. As you are a father, you're a fashion designer, you're a musician. What's next for Rufus?
Um, once I fully
Oh, we just lost Rufus. We'll wait till he comes back. I'll fill some air. We got beatsbedsbrowns.com. It's garden season. Get your free seed kit. Learn how to grow. Ordering our dill is one of the easiest things, not even ordering. We'll send it to you for free. Register at beetsbedsbrowns.com. Choose from dill, pumpkin, or acorn squash. Again, our mission is to educate people on how to grow their own food, how easy it is, connect people with the top performers in Chicago, the region, and the world in hip hop, as well as interviewing bourbon and whiskey distillers. We've got our upcoming season 4 continuing April 3rd, 7 p.m. Ruben Ramirez, growing comedian out of Joliet, comedian and host of our season 1 and season 2 launch concerts. We've got Dallas Glazik with Silver Tree Beer and Spirits, Paul Coughlin and family with the Taco Nick Distillery out of the East Coast, Glenda George Green, Baby Green's Family Farm, a microgreen farm out of Gary, her and her family. We have Joel Q, champion of Chicago hip hop, as well as May 8th, Jesse Stewart Jr., Alexander James Whiskey. As it is spring and garden season, that's heavily what we're into. We're attending shows. April 13th, we've got Rufus at the, where's it at here? It's the APJ Music Festival or Purple Box Video Festival on April 13th. Check that out at Purple Box Videos on Instagram. We've seen him live at Wild Hair Music at Sub T Chicago and on stage at Promontory. He's tearing up Chicago. We've been talking about what it is to grow and evolve as a musician, what the business end looks like, and what's next for Rufus. We're dealing with a downtime because of, I assume, some connection issues, making sure that he's not messaging us here. But we'll give him another couple minutes here. Check out our TikTok at Beats Beds Browns. We're sharing a number of projects. You wonder, growing your own food, what does that mean? What can we do? What can we grow? We're covering frozen greens, zucchini pancakes, frozen jalapeno peppers. We've got apple cider vinegar we're making from apple scraps. We've got elderberry, elderberry tincture and elderberry syrup, which is a powerful antioxidant as well as a deterrent for cold and flu season. And there's a number of concert reverbs as well. Check out our content at beetsbedsbrowns.com under the What's New section. We're regaling in our blogs with some of these recipes, as well as doing concert reviews and advocating on growing your own food. It's incredibly important as inflation takes over, as less healthy food is available at the grocery store, and more options for fresh food are less available at the commercial grocery store. I'm not receiving any messages from Rufus. Let me shoot him a message here. We'll see if he gets back to us. If not, we'll close. We appreciate those viewing. Drop some comments. Let us know where you're at, where you're tuned in. Let us know if you've enjoyed the interview to date. And let us know some questions that you might want to ask Rufus if he's able to hop back in. If you're watching now, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We're over 200 subscribers, and we're looking to grow that so that we can continue to share the content that's we're passionate about. Again, interviewing these emerging hip-hop artists, garden interests from homestead to commercial ag, as well as bourbon and whiskey distillers. Right now, we're drinking single barrel whiskey, rye with Amberana barrels from Koval Distillery out of Chicago. If you know anyone at Koval, we're trying to get them scheduled for season 5. If you know your favorite artist, send it to us, DM at BeatsBedsBrowns on Instagram. We're constantly on the lookout. We're attending shows. We're seeing live performers. We're looking to see who's next and who we can interview, give them a hand up, as well as add content and value to our chain, beatsbedsbrowns.com. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to reconnect, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Again, with We missed out on hard hitters and wig splitters. We may have to call Rufus back to get his answer to the yes/no quick answer questions such as beef or no beef, cash or queens, big black truck or 6'4", edibles or flour, Jay-Z or Drake, Bears or Colts, Cubs or Sox, is a hot dog a sandwich, ketchup or no ketchup, hot or mild, Jordan or LeBron, Marvel or DC, and vanilla or chocolate. I'm Joe Skibby. This is Beats, Beds, and Browns. Have a great night.